Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for... I felt like that was an aggressive intro, but hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for April 2022. We're going to jump right in here, Aquarius, and see what is going on for you at this time. Right off the bat, in your first row here, I feel like there's a cycle is coming to an end, or a cycle, something that is repeating needs to come to an end. It's a very, I feel like this is a similar message that you've been getting for like the past couple of weeks that, I think I've been saying that a decision needs to be made. And of course you have a decision card right here, Two of Cups, but, I feel like a cycle, like if something is repeating in your life, obviously that's what a cycle is, but I feel like if something has almost become like a ritual here, if you can set your watch to something, I feel either a decision needs to be made or it's like something needs to end here so that you can find fulfillment. Really, I feel this reading is extremely simple for the month of April. I feel like you're just saying you're finding fulfillment. Three of Swords is like no fulfillment, extreme sadness. Two of Cups to the Nine of Cups, it's like you're moving towards fulfillment here. You also have the Ace of Cups, really pretty nice reading, but I feel like this is kind of like something you can almost set your watch to. For some of you, I do feel like this is a person that you are dealing with. So if you're dealing with a person, especially a fire sign or a water sign, you have both showing up here. Pretty clear message to me, where it's like I feel like there's a cycle to the relationship. Let's put it that way, where it's like maybe things are good and then maybe there's an argument and then maybe there's like, you make up and it's just like, but just like something that is just too predictable, right? I feel like it's something that where you either need to break the cycle or move on, or move towards something new. I almost feel that some of you are kind of looking for a clue. Again, I'm not telling you what to do. I always like to remind people that, tarot should not tell you what to do. Tarot shouldn't say you have to move on from this person. But what I'm saying is I feel the cards are at least encouraging you to kind of like end a cycle here or to make something happen in a situation. For others, I feel it's a work situation, and I would say in work or business, inconsistency is the challenge here with the Knight of Wands. It's a very clear message, like I said. You have the Knight of Wands here, and in work or business, this could be where maybe it's very inconsistent. Maybe one month you make a bunch of money, maybe the next month is down here. Maybe the amount of work that you get is inconsistent. Maybe sometimes you're busy, other times you're not. I feel like there needs to be some consistency here. And again, I feel like this is something you can fix as well. Like if you have a business, I feel it's not saying you have to leave the business. Maybe you just have to make a couple of changes to make sure that things stay consistent. Same thing in a job. It's like you don't have to necessarily leave the job, but maybe there's some things that you could be doing to make things a little bit more predictable. It's a little bit nerdy, but you have the Eight of Pentacles here. Eight of Pentacles is a systems card. It's like, when we have systems in work or business where we follow the system, we can pretty much predict the outcome pretty accurately, right? It's like, I know that if I post, I know that if I do at least 4 videos a day, I'm going to be staying ahead with videos, right? I'm never going to get behind. I'm never going to miss out on videos and all that other stuff. I know that if I post like 5 times a day on TikTok, for example, which I don't do, but if I was consistent with it, I know that people who do that are going to be successful. And again, I'm not trying to say you have to do YouTube or TikTok, but whatever it is that you do, it's like I feel like there are things, Eight of Pentacles, there's like a system that you can follow where as long as you stick to the system, I feel like it's less of this. It's like there are always going to be hills and valleys. There are always going to be things that are up and down in business and work. But I think as long as you have the system, maybe it's just like a little bit more gentle, right? And I feel like that's where you're going. I think that's where you're going here, Aquarius. Nerdy, I get it, but I like it. I feel like this is a good thing. You have the Three of Swords, the Seven of Wands, and the Queen of Cups here. I feel like you are, to me this is very obvious. It's like you're trying to protect your heart, plain and simple. Three of Swords is grief, sadness, heartbreak, bad things happening. But number one, Three of Swords is temporary. It's not something that lasts for a long period of time. It's not something that you have to, deal with either. Three of Swords is a card that asks you to forgive a situation so that you can move on. It's a card of forgiving, but it doesn't necessarily you're going to say you're going to forget. You're just removing the swords from your heart. The Seven of Wands really tells me that you're trying to protect your heart. And again, I don't really have a problem with people trying to prevent themselves from getting hurt, of course. But, again, if you're opening up to love or if you're looking to open up to love, we have to become vulnerable to allow love into our life. If we go in closed off, like Seven of Wands, it's like we're not giving a new person our full self. We're giving them kind of like a guarded self, right? So they're dating someone who isn't themselves. This is why I always encourage people. It's like, yeah, I know getting hurt sucks, but at the same time, it's like we have to open up to get hurt so that we can give a person our true self. And I think that's maybe one of the hardest parts of relationships in general, but at the same time, I feel like we have to be willing to do it so that we can enter in, authentically in the first place. And you have the Queen of Cups. I kind of like this, though, because I feel like you're taking care of yourself and nurturing yourself. By the way, I mean, if you want love, this is a really good love reading. Definitely new love with the Page of Cups here, or again, some of you could already be in a love situation, and this would be kind of like taking it to the next level with the Two of Cups, deeper commitment. But the Queen of Cups is kind of like a card of valuing your emotions. So I do feel there's like a strong emotional connection. I almost feel like something is divinely guided here. And I don't normally say that. I think that gets overused as far as relationships are concerned. But what I would say here is I do feel like there's a very strong connection. And again, you have the Two of Cups as your center card. Two of Cups is, pretty obvious. If a person is in our life and they are like a divinely guided person, I'm not saying that there aren't any issues, but because I think there is no such thing as a perfect relationship. We have to continuously work on relationships if we want them to be good. But, I feel like overall, it's like there's a deep connection here with the Two of Cups. You have the Fox spirit here. It says, think on your feet. I do feel that this is encouraging you, number one, in business. The whole thing with fox medicine is foxes, they are known to be able to kind of blend into their surroundings. One of my favorite books, Animal Speaks, Teddy Andrews, he says that the fox is like an animal where he tells a story about someone who kept seeing a fox, or I think it might have been him, I don't remember, but he basically pictured himself as being invisible at a party. He was sitting down and people kept sitting on his lap because, foxes can blend into their environment. So, you can just picture yourself as being invisible, but I usually think of the fox as like blending into an environment, becoming the energy that you like want to become. So it's like if you want to be successful, do the things that successful people do. Again, this has been a very common message over the past couple of months. I truly believe that it's the Pluto and Capricorn energy as well. Actually, now that I say that, sorry, I'm just going to pull the chart up over here because I want to take a look at something for you. I know this is unprofessional here, but I do want to just see. And yeah, so the moon is in Capricorn as well today. I'm shooting this on the 26th of March, whatever month we're in. Do I ever know? No. But the moon is also here as well. So pretty much everything has moved out of Capricorn. We just have Pluto at the end of Capricorn. It'll be there for a little while longer. But, again, there's this like energy of like really needing to step into something. I also think that just like we have this collection of energy in like Aquarius and Pisces and into Aries. It's like those three signs, it kind of makes sense to me that part of the sky is about putting yourself into an energy. And again, you don't have to have any of that in your chart. That's just where all the energy is like in that part of the sky for the most part. And, I really feel like it's more of this like forward energy, how we present ourselves, how we put ourselves into situations. And so I feel like blending into situations or kind of like mimicking success, so to speak, is going to be very important. Again, kind of like the example I used. If you want to be successful on TikTok, it's like the successful people post like 5 to 10 times a day, right? And I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but whatever it is you're doing, you have the Eight of Pentacles here. And immediately, when I put this card down, like I said at the beginning of the reading, that's why I had that verbal diarrhea, because sometimes I just got to get it out, right? And I feel this is saying you need to follow a plan. Like you need to stick to what works at this time with the Eight of Pentacles, and that will create a more like gentle. I feel like that'll create more of a gentle energy in your life. There will still be ups and downs. I mean, that's just life in general. But there's like a little bit more control here. It's not so like just zigzaggy up and down, unpredictable. And I just feel that energy right now where I feel like people need to do that right now. I feel like it's super important. I think it'll lead to things like more stable finances, more predictable finances, especially in work or business. I think also like when we're living like this right here, we're less stressed out. We're less worried about things. What does that do? Usually that means we go like this, where we go up, where we start seeing an increase in our finances or an increase in our love because we're not all stressed out. We're not all worried. It's like we have something to lean back on here. And really, I know that sounds weird, but that's what I feel like this reading is saying. It's like saying that it's almost like you're creating a certain level of security here. I don't, truly believe in security in general. I always tell the story. I used to work right up the road here from my office, and when I was a kid, when I was like 16, 17, And I saw a person get hit by a car up the road, and very slow, they died as well. And the person, one of those moments totally changed my life, because, the person that was driving, they weren't like speeding, they weren't going very quick, they weren't going very fast or anything like that. So, ever since that happened, it's one of those things where, I kind of look at life like, things can change very quickly. And so it's like, there's no such thing as security, right? Or being safe. But I feel like this Eight of Pentacles is talking about creating a system. The Two of Cups is like a perfect match. Number one, really good love reading. Again, you have the Ace of Cups here, Page of Cups. Definitely could be an admirer, a new person. Two of Cups is usually a person who comes from a very different background as well. And that's popping into my head for you. I'm almost 1,000% sure I said the same thing to you in your 2022 reading, that if there's love coming in for you, it's probably someone who's very different than you, different than your usual type. Again, these two people on the Two of Cups, they are meant to look completely different. There is a reason for that. And the reason is that usually the Two of Cups can represent a person who is not your usual type, or a person who is raised differently than you were, a person who comes from a different background. Take it how it resonates, Could be long distance, could be anything. But I feel like there's a person who's kind of has a different way of seeing things coming in for you. Again, if you're worried or if you're trying to protect yourself, as I always say, there's always an answer in tarot. Your answer is the Eight of Pentacles. If you put work in, do you get work out? I've been saying this for weeks. It's like Justice card keeps coming up for everybody. Six of Pentacles as well. All these cards really represent, I think relationships right now are deceptively easy. And what I mean by that is, if you put work in, do they also put work in? That's all you need to know. If they're putting the work in, then it's going to work. If they're not, I think that sometimes we ignore warning signs and things like that. I feel like you just need to pay attention. If you're worried about getting heartbroken, just pay attention to the facts. What is the person doing? I feel like this will make you very happy. There's like a lot of happiness and just like good energy coming in for you with the Ace of Cups. I feel like a very happy energy, very much at peace with that energy as well. Next, you have this Claw card that says, be careful, do not take risks. You also have this Mule card. It says, someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. I feel like some of you are, kind of, if you're leaving a situation, I really feel like this is like the past heartbreak. If you were dealing with a person who is just a jackass, like the Mule right here, a person who just doesn't change no matter what. I feel like the risk part of it is more talking about that Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles, again, just says, do what works, Don't try to reinvent the wheel. I'm actually a big fan of taking risks right now, even though this card says don't take risks. I think it's saying, don't take risks that aren't thought out. Don't take the risks that aren't calculated and things like that. Again, I have the chart up over here. Since I started your reading and I opened it. And I do feel like it is a good time to take a calculated risk, something that you've been researching for a long time. Again, everything's leaving Capricorn. The moon today, I'm shooting this on the 26th. This will be up on the 27th. The moon will be leaving Capricorn, but it doesn't really matter. Again, Pluto is still at the end of Capricorn. That Capricorn energy we've been dealing with for a very long time, because Pluto's been there and we had Saturn there a few years ago, basically. And so what I would say is we've been learning a lot. If you've been learning a lot about something, I feel, and you are prepared for risk, then I feel like it's fine to take a risk. But I feel like it's saying, kind of, as far as work and business are concerned, just keep doing the things that are working, because I think that's going to lead to the most success. You have the Page of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Nine of Cups. The Page of Cups, I do feel, could be an admirer coming in for you, or it could be love coming in for you. You do have Venus in your sign, and it's like conjunct Saturn right now, which is interesting to me, because what's going to happen is over the next few days, Venus is going to go over Saturn. Then, there could be some challenges in relationships for you, I feel, but it could also be one of those things where you're kind of looking at the work that you want to put into relationships. So, that makes perfect sense to me. But what I would also say is you also have like Mars very close to Venus. So there could have been some tension in a close relationship. I'm almost seeing this in my head as a test. Like if I zone out, people always ask me, why do you zone out? I'm like, well, that's how I get my messages. but if I zone out and I put myself in your shoes, it's almost like I feel tension in a relationship. If you got over the tension, then I feel like that could be a clue for you. It's like maybe you've been kind of dating a person, seeing a person, there was a bunch of tension, but maybe you worked your way through it in a healthy way. Both people, right? If you did, I feel like that's a clue to move forward. If you didn't, then I feel like that's also a clue to not move forward with this person. So, pay attention to the evidence, as I always say to you. I also feel this is just a new opportunity that could be coming in for you. Something very spontaneous, something kind of out of the blue is what I feel with this Knight of Wands. And this could be something that is very successful for you. You have a lot of really amazing energy in your astrology. Even once we get into the later part of the year, Jupiter is going to be entering into Aries, which is your second house here, Aquarius. And, this could be very good for you financially. And actually, for some of you, again, it depends on when you were born. Pisces could also be your second house. And Jupiter is in your second house right now. But again, it depends on when you were born. You're going to have to look up your own chart. But it could be your second house. Even if it's not, I still feel like it's going to be good for new opportunities, especially involving adventure. And I also feel that there's a lot of abundance coming in for you in general. Again, you have the Nine of Cups here, which is like a wish or wish fulfillment coming in for you. But we're just going to clarify through here. You have the Ace of Wands wanting to pop out there. I don't take pop outs, but it is interesting. So let's see where this is going. With the Three of Swords and the Ace of Cups, you have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is about going somewhere you've never been before. I feel like this has been coming up like crazy for you. I could be wrong, but I would definitely encourage. I feel like there's something needs to be explored here. It's like, imagine you're standing outside of a cave. It's like, I feel like you've been looking into a cave for months, years. The cave kind of is representing maybe something that's dark and scary in my intuition right now, but it's like I can see things. It's almost like you can see things in there. I feel that's the type of risk that you're taking. It's like maybe something has been explored by other people. Maybe you can see it's like you can see into whatever this is. But I feel like the risk that you could take is entering into the cave. What the hell am I talking about? It's like I feel like you've only scratched the surface of something. It's like I feel like I need to dive into something. Very weird feeling in your reading today. And I feel like there's great depth here, but I feel there's this need to kind of explore something. This could be a relationship with a person. Maybe you've been kind of like dating a person, but you haven't really actually explored, the potential of a relationship. Maybe you've been talking to a person in like a situationship. Maybe it needs to be developed. I do feel like this could be love for some of you. For others, clearly this is work or business. And again, I feel like the easiest thing for you to do would just be to get started with that Eight of Pentacles. Like I said, I feel like there's like a plan. It's like there's a way that works in the business. I gave you the TikTok example because I've been learning about TikTok. But what I would say here is I feel like there are examples you can follow. And that's exactly what I'd be doing here. It's amazing reading here, Aquarius. I'm telling you right now. With the Seven of Wands and the Two of Cups, you have the Magician. Magician really says you can have whatever you want. Magician wants you to use your powers of manifestation to create the reality that you would like to create. So, that's kind of like what I feel like you need to do here with the Magician card, is to use your powers of manifestation, right? With the Queen of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is a card of kind of your resources. She is the most resourceful out of all the queens, and she kind of represents resourcefulness. She might not have the money to do something, but she might have like skills. She might have negotiation skills. She might have a talent, gift, skill, or ability that could make her money, right? It's kind of like an energy of needing to look into things, needing to figure out, needing to find a way, basically. With the Ace of Cups and the Page of Cups, I get like Chariot vibes here, by the way, because here's the thing, is that you don't have the Chariot here, obviously. You might show up, but the Chariot says where there's a will, there's a way. And I kind of get that energy for you here, where it's like if there's something you want to do, if you want to enter into the cave, then I feel you can do it, but you just have to assert your will, basically. But again, between the Ace of Cups and the Page of Cups, you have the Two of Swords. It's like you need to explore what's on the other side. I really feel it's such a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling because it's, Two of Wands. It's like he is basically where he has always been on the Two of Wands traditionally. He's holding that world in his hands, but he's looking out into the world that's in front of him, and he's like saying, "This is it. This is everything that I've ever experienced." He's not looking at the world over here, which could be new experiences. Two of Swords is very similar. She has a blindfold on. She's crossing her arms over her chest. She's trying to protect her heart. Exactly what I said at the beginning of the reading. If she took her blindfold off, put the swords down and she turned around, she would see the new island that is behind her. And you know what I mean? It's almost like, I feel like I said this to you recently, and I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I said that you need to allow the universe to surprise you. And that's what I feel like this is saying. It's like saying the universe kind of wants to surprise you with something. With the Two of Cups and the Knight of Wands, you have the Page of Swords, card of exploration, because Knight of Wands is a card of curiosity. The thing about the Knight of Wands, Knight of Wands with the Page of Swords, by the way, this is between the Two of Cups and the Knight of Wands. The Page of Swords is with the Knight of Wands. I feel like I'm stuttering here. The thing here is that it's kind of like you can't ignore it with the Page of Swords. What do I mean? If there is something in your life that you keep revisiting, maybe you keep being interested in a business, maybe you keep being interested in just a hobby, or could just be an interest. I feel like this is saying, if something keeps entering into your consciousness, whatever it is, I feel like it's like almost like the universe, your guides are like saying, hey, we want you to look more into this. I don't think our guides or anything like that force us. Like, maybe you're interested in a person. It's not. I don't think your guides are saying like, "Hey, you're gonna marry this person. You have to be with this person." I feel like they're saying there's something in this cave for you. That's like the best way I could describe your reading. Darkness, cave. I see this cave, but there's like gold at the bottom of this cave, and so it's. I don't think it's saying you have to commit to a situation, but it's saying that exploring something would be very beneficial. With the Eight of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups, you have this Eight of Swords, feeling stuck. Eight of Swords is a card of needing to realize that there are many opportunities for you, needing to realize, it's a card of self-imposed restriction, and it says you could be so much more free if you chose to be free. She, again, could easily lean up against the swords that are behind her on the Eight of Swords, and that would allow her to take her blindfold off. She could see reality. She could see the world for what it really is. Some of you, I feel like, need to take the blindfold off. How do you do that? For you, your reading is very clear. I feel like to take the blindfold off, you have to go have an experience you've never had before. That could be just doing something you've never done before. Pretty simple. Top row outcome, you have the Seven of Pentacles. It'll be worth it. Seven of Pentacles is like looking at a current situation and saying, is the juice worth the squeeze, or is there something better that I could be experiencing? There you go. Middle row, you have the Fool. Take the leap of faith. Again, we're not talking about taking a risk that isn't calculated. We're talking about taking, like I said with that claw card, right? We're talking about taking a risk that you've been thinking about, that you've been planning for a very long period of time. So, I feel like there's a lot of opportunity for you to do that. Bottom row, Seven of Cups, two sevens. Internal fears don't exist. Let your fears go. Seven of Cups says, like, there are good things that could happen. There are bad things that could happen. Just like I said, you could be crossing the road and someone could be going like literally under the speed limit, like what happened up here, and get hit by a car and you're dead tomorrow. A little bit morbid, but it's the reality of life. So I kind of feel like this reading is encouraging you to seize the day. I feel like it's encouraging you to grab onto life, because you never know what could happen tomorrow. I don't really feel, sometimes when I get a reading like this, I feel like the reading is encouraging you to make sure that you don't miss out on something. The reason I stopped saying that is because I don't really feel, do we really miss out on anything? Probably not. I doubt it. I don't think the universe allows us to necessarily miss out on an experience, but I do feel like this is encouraging you to take advantage of something that could be very, very good for you, that could, be very good for your life in general, whether it's a business idea, a relationship. Take it how it resonates. I feel like something needs to be explored here on a deep level. Super powerful reading here, Aquarius. I don't think I've had a reading like this for you in a while. So love it. Looks really good. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.